Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story was sent to me by email, and I want to say thank you to everybody who was able to send me this. There was actually a TV show that I didn't even know existed. And I don't know how many of you guys actually watch terrestrial TV, because I damn sure don't. But there was a show that was out that I never even heard of. How many of you guys have heard about a TV show called Worst Cooks in America? I have never heard of this weird show, and I think it's crazy because we had shows like I guess like Worst Kitchens in America. I remember that one. I remember like Restaurant Nightmares. I remember what's the one with that cook? What's that guy's name? Gordon Ramsay. That turns around kitchens that are bad and make them really good. I don't know. There are a lot of cooking shows out there, right? But I had no idea that you could, like, how are you even a bad cook? How does that even work? Let me explain to you guys what I mean. This is where I'm confused, because I would think the worst cook would be a cook that doesn't cook at all. Would you guys agree with me? I think the worst cook is a cook that don't know how to cook or does not cook. But how is it that you know how to cook and you just intentionally make bad food, nasty food, overcooked, undercooked, underseasoned, overseasoned? Like, how are you a bad cook? Like I want you guys to really think about that for a moment. I think in order for you to be a bad cook, you would have to intentionally be a bad cook. Does that make sense? Now, I want y'all guys to understand there's a reason why I'm saying this. There's a reason why I'm accusing this woman of potentially faking being a bad cook. Okay? Now, you guys see I have this Babies Lives Matter shirt. You guys know I talk a lot about my other shirt, which is Babies for Benefits, right? I believe that this woman only had this little girl, this little beautiful smiling little angel. The only reason that this woman got possession of this kid is so she can collect benefits from this kid, which is a trademark of our show. Hashtag Babies for Benefits. I also believe that it's possible that this woman probably falsely got onto this so-called Worst Cook show. Because if you just think about the premise, technically anybody could be a crappy cook. Could they not? Or am I tripping? I think anybody could technically be a bad cook. So honestly, I think that's a stupid ass show. It's a stupid premise. And if anybody watched this show and was a fan of this show, I think they need to be slapped in the face. Right? But I'm being comical right now because this story is actually really sad. Okay? The woman that you see, actually, let's back it up because we're going to talk about that little angel right there. That woman that y'all see right there, the black lady on the left-hand side, is accused of murdering her foster daughter, who is that little angel right there. What happened in this story was senseless, it was stupid, and absolutely uncalled for. And I'm going to warn you guys that are listening to my video, I'm going to say some things that might trigger you. I'm going to say some things that might upset you. So if you cannot handle that, and if it's not going to sit well with your sensibilities, then this might not be the video for you. For everybody else that wants to hear my opinion about this, this is not a news station. So if you come to hear the news, go somewhere else, go Google it and go watch the news, because I ain't the news. There was a South Carolina mom who won season 20 of the Food Network's show called Worst Cooks in America. And that woman right there was arrested along with her husband, that pudgy bastard over there on the right-hand side. Let's go back. Let's see that dude with that big old Kool-Aid smile on his face over there. Both of them were arrested over the death of their 3-year-old foster daughter. Because clearly y'all can see that's a white baby. And them is black folk. Clearly she didn't give birth to that kid, okay? But The woman's name right there is Ariel Robinson, who was 29 years old, and her husband is 34 years old, and his name is Jerry Robinson, and they were picked up on Tuesday by officers with the Simpsonville Police Department and the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. Cops responded to a call about an unresponsive child at their Selwood Circle home around 2:25 p.m. on January the 14th, which was 12 days ago, according to a press release. The child, identified by Greenville County Coroner's Office, that baby, as Victoria Rose Smith, who was only 3 years old. And that baby was transported to an area hospital where she was pronounced dead and she died. The police say that the Robinsons did commit child abuse by inflicting a series of blunt force injuries which resulted in the death of this little girl. So what does that mean? What does blunt force mean? What that means is that they beat this little baby up. That little girl could not speak for herself, nor could she defend herself, not only against two adults, but two really big, overweight, nasty, incredibly stupid individuals. This little girl did not choose this house to live there either. But I'm telling y'all, I got a lot to say, so bear with me. We'll get back to that. We'll come back. The coroner's office confirmed that the cause of death was multiple blunt force injuries. The Robinsons face a charge of homicide by child abuse, and if convicted, face a sentence of 20 years to life in prison. And if you ask me, that's not nearly enough. 20 years in jail is not enough for what they did to that innocent little girl. Ariel and Jerry Robinson are currently being held in the Greenville County Detention Center with no bond, jail records show. The arrest proves a mighty fall for Ariel, who won a $25,000 grand prize after competing on Food Network's Worst Cooks in America in August, WHNS first revealed. So for that so-called mother being on that TV show, so-called The Worst Cook in America, she won it and got $25,000 out of it. I think that's very disgusting, because unless you're intentionally being the worst cook in America, if you simply, and I'm going to tell y'all why I believe that show was phony. Because for the most part, if you go to any type of website or any type of recipe website, if you just Google some recipes, if you follow the instructions, you put a pinch of, a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of pepper, a tablespoon of this, cook it at 350 degrees, pull it out of the freaking oven, check to make sure that the temperature is what it's supposed to be. If you follow a recipe, it's damn near impossible to screw up food. Do you guys agree with me, or do you disagree with what I'm saying? If you follow the majority of recipes that are available online, and it's not always a popular website. Sometimes it's just recipes that people post on Facebook. But generally, if you follow a recipe, it's damn near impossible to mess it up, unless you're just stupid. And yes, I could be accusing that woman of being stupid. It's an accusation. It's a personal opinion. But nonetheless, she won $25,000 for being on a show that doesn't have a real good premise. So she could have did it for money. It's very possible that maybe she was a really good cook. Excuse me, shit. My apologies. Sorry about that. It's possible that she could have faked her way into being a so-called bad cook and then turn around and win the show. Okay? On top of that, I want you guys to remember that she's also a foster parent, and it's possible that she could have became a foster parent to collect a check from the little girl that she ended up murdering. Do you guys kind of follow the logic in what I'm saying? I hope so. Now, the mother of 5, and I repeat, the mother of 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5, told the news last year that she had adopted 3 children who moved in with her family in March. I'm not sure if she already had 5 children and then adopted 3, or if she ended up having 5 because she adopted 3. I'm not exactly sure, but that's still a lot of kids to be under one roof. It remains unclear if the victim was biologically her child. It was not her damn child. I mean, come on. Look, let's go back. Let's not play crazy, okay? Let's go back. How many of you guys believe that this little girl could have actually been her biological child? That's just a stupid thing to say. And that's why us being politically correct in this world is a real bad thing, because we're just going to let our eyes lie to us. No, that's not her damn kid, while she got that damn bag of hair on the top of her head, holding on to that white baby. Like, come on. Robinson planned to use her winnings from the show to plan a fun trip with her large family, she told the outlet. I wanted to take them to a water park or the beach, a vacation, so we can do one big thing as a family this year. But before her arrest, Ariel Robinson remained active with posting cooking videos to her YouTube channel, including a video just 4 days ago, and I was only able to download one of them because apparently she went back and took the rest of the videos down, because when I went there, all I found was, let me see if I can show you. Where is it at? Right here. This is what I found. She didn't delete the videos, she just put all her videos on private. So I don't really know what that means. I don't know if there's anything else that's indicative of her bad character on that channel. But nonetheless, I'll show you guys the videos that I did get. But first, let me give you guys the fair usage, and then we'll talk about the news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Actually, I missed a super chat. Let me give a shout out and say thank you to Happy Life. If you are listening in the chat, I want to say thank you very much for your donation. If I missed any other ones, I will try to shout them out. Let me say thank you to Southern Girl, who sent in a $20 super chat, showing some love. Thank you again, and much love, Southern Girl in the building. Let me also say thank you to Jimmy D, if you're listening. Let me say thank you to Macy W in the Cash App, and also to Thomas C, who took on the $10 challenge and the Cash App. And thank you also to my friend over on the PayPal side who took on the $10 challenge. And if you're listening, thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these news videos. Let's get it.
Breaking news into our newsroom. These two have been charged with homicide by child abuse in the city of Simpsonville. SLED and Simpsonville police made these charges. This is Ariel and Jerry Robinson. This apparently happened back on January 14th. The little girl identified only 3 years old. This apparently happened on Selwood Circle last Thursday afternoon. Police were called there. They found this little 3-year-old unresponsive and rushed her to the hospital.
And a coroner identified the girl as 3-year-old Victoria Smith. Officials say she died from multiple blunt force injuries. The investigation is ongoing. We'll keep you updated as we learn any more information. We start with a story you'll see only on Fox. A family friend speaking out after a Simpsonville couple charged in the death of a 3-year-old girl. Ariel and Jerry Robinson charged with homicide by child abuse. And we're learning Ariel appeared on that Food Network show, Worst Cooks in America, and won it. We talked to her after her victory just last year. And now She's charged in the death of Victoria Rose.
Fox Carolina's Shel Ramin spoke to Ariel's longtime friend in an interview you'll see only on Fox. And Shel, we've gotten hundreds of comments on social media, and one common theme seems to be most people are shocked to find out this has happened.
Yeah, that's the overall feeling that we've gotten in Simpsonville, Cody. Just shock altogether. You know, to the country, Ariel Robinson was the crowned winner of season 20 Worst Cooks in America on the Food Network. But to her friend Tony, she's simply the girl who wanted a family. And now SLED and Simpsonville PD are investigating her role in her daughter's death. Tony Bryson knows every tree, every house in her Simpsonville neighborhood.
They were out there heavy, and it was more than one car, more than two cars. Every day there was more cars.
What she's not used to seeing, law enforcement covering a house she's very familiar with. A house belonging to Ariel Robinson, a friend she grew up with.
I said, well, I told you something was going on up there with all the forensics, but I didn't expect this. I definitely said something, Mom, something happened.
It happened Thursday afternoon when Simpsonville police got a call about an unresponsive little girl along Selwood Circle. Police tell us her parents, Jerry and Ariel Robinson, are charged with her death.
It's sad because that was a beautiful little girl. Oh gosh, she was beautiful. It's really sad because it's not her character. Like, if you see her, she's such a bubbly person. She's making you laugh. Even if she's upset, she's gonna make you laugh.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. Let me tell you guys something, and I don't mean to pause these news videos, but let me say this, because this is very important. Let me back this up on that woman's face. This woman right here. This is what I think about her. I think this woman is delusional and dumb. The two D's, double D. She's the double D. Delusional and dumb. Let me tell you why. Because this woman just heard what the mother was arrested for. The mother was arrested for the murder of that 3-year-old baby. You hear that this baby was beat up and murdered by the mother. Just hearing that, I know it's just an accusation. At this point, she was arrested for it because they do have evidence. But just the accusation alone, I think it's quite disgusting when these type of people will hear what these people are charged with. And then you'll still be like, oh, no, they're still a good person. She loves kids and this and that. I think the best thing to do is for people to put the focus on the children. That's exactly why I do what I do. That's exactly why I'm here. Because I believe that people continue to ignore the children. She wouldn't. She's a good mom, and she was always smiling. She make it like. Why would you say anything good about her at all? It ain't nothing good about a person who would murder and beat a. Can y'all think about that for a moment? Let's think about this for a moment. Could you find yourself to say, let's just say if it were a man who were arrested for molesting and raping a little girl, would you turn around and say, well, I know he's a good father and he's always making people laugh, and I wouldn't have nothing good to say about somebody who does that to a child, period. Do y'all kind of understand where I'm coming from? Or do some of y'all disagree with what I'm saying? I just don't see how you can fix your mouth to say anything positive about a baby murderer.
It's not her character. Like, if you see her, she's such a bubbly person. She's making you laugh. Even if she's upset, she's gonna make you laugh.
Tony's childhood friend Ariel, the girl who made everyone laugh, eventually made America laugh as a winner of Food Network's Worst Cooks in America.
Her family is amazing. I don't know. It just kind of strikes me in surprise.
The coroner reports 3-year-old Victoria Rose Smith died at the hospital from multiple blunt force injuries.
She's always wanted a blended family and a huge family. She loves kids.
As the case remains under investigation by SLED, the Robinsons remain inside of the Greenville County Detention Center.
To be on the outside looking in, we don't know the full story, of course. And I'm hoping we can get the full story, but I just rest in peace to that beautiful baby girl.
And Robinson told us in a previous interview she is the mother to 5. According to SLED, this case will be prosecuted by the solicitor's office. For now, reporting live in Simpsonville, I'm Shale Ramin.
A mother of 5 kids, boy. Can we get a hashtag babies for benefits in the chat if y'all understand where I'm coming from? She don't love none of those kids at all. Every single human being that you have, split your time in half every single time you make a kid. You can never really devote as much love and attention when you have a ton of kids around. It's really, it's hard to raise one kid, let alone what, 5, 6, 8 kids? Are you kidding me? That's just insanity. That's stupid. Let me say thank you, Don Love. Don Love said her social media had hashtag white privilege all over and saying her black kids will be treated worse than the white ones. Huh. It's kind of interesting. But let me show some love and say thank you, Don Love, who took on the $5 challenge and showing some love. So thank you very much. Let me also say thank you to Leslie Cyrus, and I hope I pronounced your name right, who also took on the $5 challenge. And I'm thankful that people do kind of understand where I'm coming from. Hashtag babies for benefits. Because this woman only had all these kids because her fat ass was looking to collect benefits from each and every one of those kids. Holler at me if you agree. Let's go.
8:06 developing this morning. An upstate game show winner and her husband are in custody after being charged with the death of a 3-year-old girl. Fox Carolina's Justin Dorsey's live from Simpsonville Police Department with more details.
Yeah, Ted, authorities say Thursday when they responded to the home of Jerry and Ariel Robinson for an unresponsive child. They took the child in to the hospital and it was then pronounced dead there. Now, the 34-year-old Jerry Robinson and Ariel Robinson, 29, are being charged with homicide by child abuse. Ariel was the season 20 winner of the Food Network's Worst Cook in America. We actually got a chance to speak with her back in August when
I just thought about what somebody in the chat said, and that's so true. How can you have 2 people, you know, I want y'all to forgive me, but I'm just making an observation. But how can you have 2 people that are that fat, that have that many kids, and they don't know how to cook? Don't worry, I'll wait, like Cat Williams says. How do you have people that are that wide, with that much belly fat, and that much neck, and that much face, all that blubber, and you mean to tell me they don't know how to cook? How have you survived your entire life? What, just McDonald's all damn day? You mean to tell me you don't know how to cook at all? Seriously? The fact that you're so bad of a cook that you ended up on a TV show to tell the world that you were the worst cook in America of 2020. Really, bitch? Really? Man.
she won, but we learned from that previous interview that Robinson had 5 children. Now,
let me also say thank you, Johnny Kibbe. I think that's how you pronounce your last name, but let me say what's up and thank you, Johnny Kibbe. Took on the $5 challenge as well, so thank you very much. I also feel my phone vibrating, so I will shout those out here in just a moment. We have 2 more people that donated. I'm gonna open those up and shout you out as well, so thank you very much. But let's keep going with these videos.
Now she and her husband are currently being held at the Greenville County Detention Center. Back to you.
Gabrielle, her name is Ariel Robinson, and last August she won the show Worst Cooks in America. That is a popular hit show on the Food Network. Now she and her husband facing homicide by child abuse charges as we work to learn more about this investigation. 34-year-old Jerry Robinson and 29-year-old Ariel Robinson, both now at the Greenville County Detention Center, charged with homicide by child abuse after arrest warrants claim last Thursday they inflicted a series of blunt force injuries to 3-year-old Victoria Smith. Smith passed away at the hospital.
When she entered the room, all eyes were on her because she demanded it, and She was a cutie.
A foster child at one time, Tori lived for 10 months with Cameron and Tiffany Huggins before being adopted by the Robinsons.
She was just a natural. Like, she had the best personality, and I'm not just saying that because I was her mama, but she was just our life.
Ariel Robinson, the mother of 5.
I think it all started when I almost killed my husband when we were dating because I cooked him some ribs and they were a little dry and he choked on them.
Ariel Robinson sat down with WYFF.
What did she say? Let's rewind. Rewind, big girl. What did she just say? What? I did not notice she said that. Oh, boy. And that's actually pun intended. Let's rewind. Let's listen to what she just said again. Maybe some of y'all didn't hear that.
Killed my husband when we were dating because I cooked him some ribs and they were a little dry and he choked on them.
Ariel lived for
the best personality, and I'm not just saying that because I was her mama, but she was just our life.
Him some ribs.
Let's scoot it up just a little
Killed
bit.
my husband when
Ariel Robinson, the mother of 5.
I think it all started when I almost killed my husband when we were dating because I cooked him some ribs and they were a little dry and he choked on them.
She has no what do you call that? Like I don't know if you call it, not wherewithal, self-aware. She has no self-awareness at all. Oh my goodness. Look at the neck on that woman. Damn. Boy, she looked like she smelled bad. I'm sorry, but good Lord, man. And somebody said that she looked like a dude. She does look like a dude, though. Like, she looked like my homeboy. No disrespect to my dog, but she looked just like my homeboy. Seriously. She said she almost killed her husband, and then now we look at it today, and she actually did kill a 3-year-old little girl from beating the 3-year-old little girl. Huh? Listen at her words. Listen at fat neck again. Let's go. Let's listen at this again.
Killed my husband when we were dating because I cooked him some ribs and they were a little dry and he choked on them.
Ariel Robinson sat down with WYFF News 4 in August after winning the Food Network show Worst Cooks in America. She told us then the winnings.
Maybe she should have been on the show Worst Wigs in America. Look at this. Let me back it up. I want y'all to, I didn't even notice this. Look at her hair here, and then look at that big ass nasty lamb wig that she put on her head. Look at that. Instead of being on Worst Cooks in America, she should have been on Worst Wigs in America. Huh?
Cooks in America. She told us then the winnings.
Worst Wigs in America.
From the show would go a long way to help her and her husband, who recently adopted 3 more children.
She should have been on the TV show Fattest Necks in America. America's Fattest Necks. How about that? America's Fattest Necks. I'm sorry about the fat jokes. Yes, I'm fat. You don't have to tell me in the comments. I know I'm fat, but that's why I'm poking fun at big folk, because I'm a big folk, and I can relate to big folk. Being overweight and can't breathe and have a hard time getting out of bed and walking up and down the stairs. Getting tired after you make your way, walking through the mall and walking back. I understand. I understand having to keep your inhaler nearby. I get it. I totally get it.
I just know that the Lord had his hands on me and he had a purpose for me to go on there.
The former middle school teacher was an aspiring comedian booked by Justin Williams to perform at a Pickens County barbecue event back in November.
She was hilarious. She was super sweet to everybody around her.
And she's a comedian, she's a comedian, a teacher. She's on network television. She's a mother of 5 kids, and then a foster mother to 3 kids, and a wife, and she can't cook. Are you kidding me? All of those things. And on top of that, you can't cook. So she's got, I want y'all to think about this. She's America's cheapest wigs. She's got all the talent in the world. I want y'all to think about how hypocritical this is. All the talent in the world, and this woman can't follow a fucking recipe. All jokes aside. Y'all understand what I'm saying? She has every talent in the world and can't cook. Bookmark that. We'll come back to it.
And she expressed a passion for working with children and working, with just the community in general.
Lots of questions as people close to the 3-year-old remember her impact.
She just has so much to offer.
Yeah. She's going to be missed by many, many, many people.
Bond was denied to the Robinsons on Tuesday. SLED is now investigating. We are working to learn more about their investigation. For now, in Greenville, Taggart Houck, WYFF News 4.
Now, we're about halfway through these videos. If you guys are watching, please click the thumbs up and share the stream. Bring in a few more people. So if y'all would, my goal is to try to get 500 thumbs up for this stream. So if y'all would, click that thumbs up. The reason why I want y'all to do that is because I want to know from you guys that are listening. Because clearly, everybody who's seen this story sees that there is also a culture dynamic. Yes? Y'all see that that is a black husband and wife that ended up with a white foster kid, right? So how many of you guys want to hear my opinion, my thoughts about the black mother, the black father, and the white baby? How many of you guys want to hear my thoughts on that? If you will get us the 500 thumbs up, I will gladly tell you what my thoughts are about that. I want y'all to hear this video real quick. Read this text, listen at this.
Hey y'all, I just want you to know there are people in your life who don't want to see you level up. They don't want to see you change. They don't want to see you evolve. They don't want you to do better. They don't want you to do anything that's going to make you have self-confidence, self-worth. They don't want to see you do anything that's going to make you become a better person. And them not your people. They're not there for you. They're not going to support you. Every time you tell them about something good you got going on, they're going to give you the vibes of, oh, you think you better than me. Oh, you think you doing something because you doing that. If you think I'm doing something, then just say.
Oh my goodness. Y'all see this? God, that is a big... You know what she is, y'all? I just seen it in the chat. Y'all know who she is? She is the Black Honey Boo Boo. Is she not? Not the Black Honey Boo Boo. I don't... Or what's the mom's name? I don't remember her name. But because I don't watch that show, I don't remember who's who. So y'all don't crush me in the comments on that. But do y'all know what the black version of Honey Boo Boo is? Does anybody know? This is a really bad joke. It's not funny. I don't want nobody to laugh about this. But what do you call the black version of Honey Boo Boo? Does anybody know? I want to see if somebody gonna post it in the chat. Mama June, that was her name. Yeah, that's right. What is the black version of Honey Boo Boo? Do y'all give up? A jigaboo. Let's move on. Let's move on. That wasn't funny. Let's move on.
You to know there are people in your life who don't want to see you level up. They don't want to see you change. They don't want to see you evolve. They don't want you to do better. They don't want you to do anything that's going to make you have self-confidence, self-worth. They don't want to see you do anything that's going to make you become a better person. And them not your people. They're not there for you. They're not going to support you. Every time you tell them about something good you got going on, they're going to give you the vibes of, oh, you think you better than me. Oh, you think you doing something because you doing that. If you think I'm doing something, then just say that. Hey,
I'm sorry, y'all. That joke was not funny. Y'all act like I didn't say that. This woman is in here giving a motivational speech like she's somebody to look up to, all while that little innocent baby was being beat up and murdered. I want y'all to think about that. That big, nasty Kool-Aid smile she got on her face.
Hey, y'all. I just want you to know there are people in your life who don't want to see you level up. They don't want to see you change. They don't want to see you evolve. They don't want you to do better. They don't want you to do anything that's going to make you have self-confidence, self-worth. They don't want to see you do anything that's going to make you become a better person. And them not your people. They're not there for you. They're not going to support you. Every time you tell them about something good you got going on, they're going to give you the vibes of, oh, you think you better than me. Oh, you think you doing something because you doing that. If you think I'm doing something, then just say that.
Now, I don't know how many of y'all want to see her stand-up comedy. Does anybody want to hear a little bit of her so-called stand-up comedy? Because I actually got a little piece of a video. It's not going to be really good on the audio. But how many of you guys want to see this? If you do, click the thumbs up or say yes, you want to see it in the chat. If not, I will skip this video. How many of y'all actually want to hear how funny this big old woman is? Does anybody want to hear this? If you do, we'll take a vote on it in the chat. Yes, you want to hear it, or no, we can skip this video. And then I'll give you guys my closing thoughts about the whole race dynamic between the black parents and the white foster kid. Because in my opinion, I believe that everybody on both sides has a right to be upset. Y'all want to hear a little bit of this? Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to turn the volume up because it's really hard to hear.
8-year-old and 11-year-old, and they always be hollering, Mama, we want a sister, we want a sister. I said, well, you know, if Mama can't buy that help at Target, you ain't gonna get her. I said, well, let's get a girl dog. So I said, okay, we can do that. So we go to the pound, we're looking at the dogs. We see one dog, she looked like she just had puppies, stomach all stretched out. A mess. They want this dog. So the vet said, well, don't worry, her stomach could go back down over time. If not, we can have surgery to make it flat again. You want me to have plastic surgery on my dog? So this dog can get a tummy tuck. Meanwhile, I'm still walking around looking like I just had puppies. I don't think so. That's not how that works. That's not. So the dog laughed for a little while. They kept going on about his sister. So I was like, we really want a sister. So now we're going through this adoption process. So we're trying to adopt a baby girl, and the social worker, you know, they have to come over and, you know, see that you're not too crazy to adopt. And so the whole way she's coming over, I'm telling my husband, I said, you know what, we should have locked the other two up in cages because if she meet them two, ain't no way they gonna give us another. She gets there, it's too late. They upstairs hollering, screaming. Where the moms at? Where the moms at? Okay, yeah, y'all don't like y'all kids either. So they upstairs hollering and screaming going on. You know, you get to that mommy level and you like, you done had it. So I can get this woman that's in my face. So I turn around, yell upstairs, shut up, I come in there and punch you in your throat. Turn back around and she's looking at me the same way y'all looking at me. It's a game, you know. I put it in there, we got approved.
And I want y'all to remember that they said that a comedy club hired her. They said a comedy club hired her. I know y'all couldn't hear it really, really well, but I think you guys heard it enough to make a determination as to whether y'all felt like that was funny or not. I'm just saying, I mean, you know, let me not say too much because I don't want to get flagged down. I know people be getting in their feels, but let me give you guys my closing thoughts with this story. We got one more story right after this one. I do feel my phone vibrating, so as you guys donate, I will shout those out. So thank you very much. If you guys are able to contribute to our message, to our channel, and support our mission and giving these babies a voice, then absolutely feel free to do so. I want to tell y'all what I think about the black and white dynamic, because I'm going to tell you guys, we have a lot of white people out there, and shout out to every white person, every Caucasian person out there that looks at this story and gets mad that this beautiful, innocent, blonde hair, blue-eyed baby, beautiful little girl, could have grown up and became anything. This little girl could have grown up to change the world, and she was robbed of that opportunity. I know a lot of white people look at this story and they're probably mad at this black family, and they say, you know what? Not only are we mad at this black family, but why was this little girl even put in the custody of these assholes right here? If you guys are honest, I don't want nobody to block or time out anybody. If people want to be honest in the chat, you could type your thoughts in the chat and let me know if you are Caucasian, if you are white, and if you feel exactly what I just said. I think you have every right to be upset. If you look at this and you say, these horrible black people, it's like black people continue to do things, they do bad things, but they don't want you to say bad things or feel bad things or think bad things about them. They get mad at the stereotypes, right? Some of y'all feel that way. Don't let people scare you off from being honest, because if you ask me, in my opinion, the only way that we're going to get somewhere in this damn world in America is for us to be honest about our thoughts, our opinions, about what we're scared of, about what we're afraid of, all of these things. We absolutely have to be honest, okay? Now, with that honesty, it cuts both ways like a double-edged sword. Everybody understands that, right? So yes, if you ask me, do white people have the right to be upset at these two black failure of a parents for murdering that innocent little girl? You are absolutely right. But there is a caveat. Are you guys ready for the caveat? To those same group of people that would say that, there is also a caveat in which you must be beholden to. Okay? Here's what you have to be beholden to. If you feel that way and you said that this little girl should have never been in the hands of that black couple, you would also have to say what white mother and father screwed up so much in life in less than 3 years of this little girl's life so badly that the state had to come in and take custody from that white family. Oops. You have to be fair on both sides, because I'm going to tell y'all, here's how we fix problems. We fix problems at the root. Here at the AFC, we believe all babies' lives matter. Do y'all see the shirt? Can y'all see this shirt? It's also available on Spreadshirt, which is in the link is in the description box if you guys want to get one of these Babies Lives Matter shirt. Hashtag BLM. I believe that little girl's life mattered. But the person and the people that little girl's life should have mattered to first is to her biological mother and biological father. How about that? That baby never even sees this woman's big, nasty face unless her parents, both mother and father, and cousins and uncles and aunties and grandmothers and grandfathers, family, friends, godparents, godfathers, godmothers on that baby's bloodline side of the family. Where in the hell was her whole family at? Don't go get mad because the system didn't do a good enough job placing this baby in the correct hands, because the system we know is flawed. It is imperfect. CPS messes up all the time. The foster care system is screwed up. If you guys have not watched the documentary of the corruption of the child support system, not child support, but the child services system, then make sure you guys go onto my channel and look for the documentary that Dana Brockaway of the NAACP and Dear John, and shout out to Dana, by the way, who actually put out an amazing documentary that is available on our channel for you to watch for free, and watch how corrupt it is for black families and white families and American families, all people. It is unfair to everybody. Okay? The only way that you fix CPS and DHS and all of these other places is to not use them and not need them. If you can't take care of a kid, you should not procreate to create that kid. I know that mothers have a great responsibility. They have a great what do you call that? They have a great responsibility on their shoulders to bring life into this world, to care and nurture for that life. Okay? So I know a lot of times we can point the finger at the mothers, which I definitely agree with both sides, because both sides are culpable. But I believe that us as men could step up and not provide our seed to unrighteous soil. I also have a t-shirt that has that on it as well. Men could stop this today and stop sleeping with unworthy women and providing unworthy women with your seed, because with no seed, nothing will germinate from that soil. No seed, the soil germinates nothing. So in my opinion, I believe that men could be a hell of a lot more responsible. How many of y'all agree with that? I know not everybody's going to agree with that, but I just want to know how many people agree with what I just said. We don't get to this point unless we all are more responsible. Women have to be more responsible just as well as men have to be more responsible. So if men are looking at the women and saying that women like her aren't responsible, then we have to be smart enough to know, you know what? Then maybe we just won't be so reckless with our penis. And I'm pointing the finger at myself also. I've been reckless with my sexuality, but part of being a grown man and growing up and being a real man is understanding the value in yourself and not just giving yourself to anybody and everybody. To value your seed, yes? It's the same thing that our sisters and our women of America have to understand as well. Not every man is worth your body. Your body is like a temple, and not everybody deserves to be inside of your temple. It's your home, it's your abode, and not everybody deserves an opportunity to wreak havoc inside of your temple. Yes? I think women are awesome. I think that our brothers, our men, our protectors, our providers are awesome as well. But we got to start doing better. Just as sad as people can be on the white side, I understand it, as well as I can understand them being upset. Because on the surface, it looks horrible that this black family murdered a white baby. But before we get to the point of being that level of upset, we first have to look at who lost custody, which was that baby's biological mother and father. I don't care what the reason was that they lost the baby. They shouldn't have lost the baby. And that big, nasty, fake, so-called no cooking, big net woman right there with 5 damn kids should have never had an opportunity to adopt that baby, because that baby should have never been in the system and should have never have been lost in the first place. That is the level of accountability that I'm talking about. Right? I believe in the dynamic of biological mother, biological father, the nuclear family. I like the social construct of marriage. I believe it's an awesome concept. It might not work very well in this world nowadays because the divorce rate is so damn high, but I do at least like the concept of attempting to raise your children under one roof. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? It's a social construct. That's all marriage is. It's a legally binding contract with the state, but it's a social construct to think that you deal with one person and those two people come together to raise a family as a unit. And if we're not doing that, then I believe that we really shouldn't be procreating the way that we are. Because the trend that we're going in is we got a bunch of kids ending up in foster care, a bunch of kids being murdered, a bunch of kids being given off to, let's say the sex traffic industry, huh? Yes. people's children are disappearing into thin air, like the California City boys, like the Tulsa, Oklahoma boys, the Houston children. Yes, because people don't care about these kids. And if you don't care about these kids, then maybe be grown enough to put your sexuality up. Zip that shit up and stop just sleeping around and having kids just because you want to benefit from those kids. Have some value in yourself. Have some value and not be so damn big. Go out and go work. There's absolutely no reason for a show like America's Worst Cook to exist when everybody has access to the internet and can look up damn recipes. That's just stupid. I know I'm being a little bit comical, but that is stupid. It really is. But just so y'all know, they also took down, I think, that whole season that woman was on there. And kudos, good for them. I'm glad that they did that because they probably legally didn't have to do so. But I'm glad that they took that goddamn show down. I'm sorry, I'm just getting mad because I look at this baby. There's absolutely, I'm going to tell y'all, everybody failed her. Her mother, her father, her family, her cousin, her friends, her godparents, everybody around that little girl failed this baby. And there should have been somebody there for her. It's very unfortunate that she ended up in this woman's hands and she ended up being a victim of what we like to call babies for benefits. And so we've talked about so much stuff, man, but that's really what my message is the fact that we can fix these problems and they have to start at home, and we have to be a hell of a lot more responsible with our sexuality. We fix those problems, we start having kids in situations that make sense financially, logically, socially, we get to a much better place, and things like this are just lessened. It's not going to end completely, but we can definitely lessen the likelihood of things like this happening. Hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. They should have put her on an episode of America's Worst Wigs because that nasty ass thing looked like a mop that I have in the back of my apartment. Just laying out there, just catching all kind of dust and grass in it. I don't know. That thing looks hella nasty. But nonetheless, I want to close this particular story by saying to this little girl, let me put some respect on her name. See if I can get it back up here. This little girl's name was Victoria Rose Smith, and she was only 3 years old. Let me see if I can get my favorite picture of her up here. This is my favorite picture. Victoria Rose Smith, young princess, R.I.P. I'm DJ Just J. We're the AFC, and we're going to continue to keep speaking and giving these babies a voice and keeping them out of the hands of these people. I hope they get life in prison. There's a special place in hell for both of them. And it ain't Hell's Kitchen. Do you guys mind if I tell y'all one more story? I do have one more story if y'all have time. I know it's kind of late, but I do want to tell you guys one more story. This is a little bit of an update. Some of you guys might have heard about this Tulsa, Oklahoma story about the missing toddlers. And I know some of y'all are thinking, how many toddlers are going to continue to keep going missing and keep getting murdered out here in these streets? I don't know, but I hope this thing will stop, okay? But there's a little bit of an update with this particular story. I've talked about this, I believe, maybe 3 times on the channel. Do y'all remember Miracle Crook and Tony Crook? I talked about these babies. I talked about the mom, and I definitely talked about their dad. I don't know if y'all remember that. Do y'all remember this story? Let me refresh y'all memory. Which is it? Is it this one? Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna do both of these. Let me do it like that. Okay. So yes, some of y'all remember? Okay, good deal. Let me shout out a couple of people. I'm gonna read these as people are donating, okay? So I don't want you guys to think that I'm not seeing this. Let me refresh y'all memory. Uh-oh. There we go. Cut that back off real quick. My laptop just died. I got to plug it back up. Get us some power going again. Let me say thank you. I think she's in the chat. Miss Nisi. If you're in the chat, Miss Nisi took on the $20 challenge in the PayPal. And I'm going to tell y'all, she is amazing. She's always showing love. And all I could do is just thank her for the purple and gold heart emojis. Miss Nisi, if you're listening, thank you so much. To Jody Osborne, if you're listening, thank you very much. Let me also say thank you to, say, keep up the good work. I don't watch MSN. Glad you're covering this information, so I am informed. Thanks. And that is Stacy Karma 1 on YouTube. That's also a nice way to promote. So thank you very much, Stacy. I got your Venmo, which is actually really cool. But yeah, so that's another place if you guys want to contribute to the channel. And what people are actually contributing to is they're supporting us in a financial way to make this a lot easier for me to come in and do these streams. So if you want to, cool. If you don't, I understand that. All I ever ask for people to do is click that thumbs up. So for as many people as we have watching, all I ask for people to do is click the thumbs up, share the stream, and you have contributed to what we're trying to do, okay? Let me also say thank you to, damn, can I get this to open up though? Hold on. We had a cash app from William Johnson, took on the $25 challenge. If you're listening, I want to say thank you very much. And also to Queen said, for the best roast on these two men and the 4 kids. Queen, if you're listening, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very, very sweet. But she donated in the cash app, so thank you. Thank you also to Macy W. Thank you to Thomas Kolika, Dre the Dream. And I think that's everybody for now. Let's talk about this. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, with a lot of these stories, I want you guys to understand that whenever we talk about these stories, we usually catch them pretty close to the beginning. And with this particular story, it's kind of a bittersweet ending because we're getting a little bit of, and I mean a very small smidgen of justice against this mother for those babies that you see right there on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't know if you guys remember this story coming out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, where there was a set of toddler babies who somehow went missing. There is a whole lot wrong with this story, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a quick reminder as to what happened. The individual that you see on my screen is the biological mother of those children. This woman lost custody of those children. I'm gonna say that again. She lost custody of the children. So she was not supposed to be around those children. Okay? She did not have custody. Custody was actually given to one of her family members. And here's the problem sometimes that CPS runs into whenever you give custody to a family member, which you would think that actually makes sense. But the reason why they usually don't do that is because it's too easy for the parent who failed that kid to get access to that kid again and potentially hurt them even further, or worse, kill the kid. Okay? So because this mother knew who had her kid, I believe it was the aunt, and the aunt had the strings on her heart plucked by this mother. She felt bad for her and said, you know what, these are her kids, and she deserves every right to be around her kids. So the aunt allowed this woman to be around her biological kids, even though she didn't have custody. The aunt had custody at the time because the aunt went to the state to get custody so the kids didn't end up in the CPS system and end up with another family, right? That sound about right? She trusted her to take care of these kids, and she ended up killing the kids. I know they didn't classify this as murder, but I'm classifying this as murder. And also, that's the biological father who, at the time when these kids went missing, the biological father was in jail. Isn't that something? And in order for this man to get out of jail, the nice, good people of Tulsa, Oklahoma opened up a damn GoFundMe to get this fool out of jail, who was in jail for a good damn reason, so he could so-called help look for his children. I don't know if y'all remember that crazy interview that he did. Go back on my channel and look up those videos. Just type in Tulsa on my channel and you'll be able to find those videos. But let me give you guys what the update is. The mother of those 2 Tulsa children who went missing and were found drowned in neighboring rivers last summer, that mother pled guilty on Monday, which was yesterday, to 2 counts of child endangerment. She pled guilty, and what that means when you plead guilty is that means that you are not allowing the courts or a jury to make a decision. You're saying what charges you will accept based on the evidence that's presented against you. So that way you get a lesser charge. So hopefully everybody, I'm sure everybody already understands how that works. Donisha Willis, who is the biological mother, let me see if I can get her big nasty face back up on this screen. That woman is Donisha Willis. And she was originally charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, but Tulsa District Attorney Steve Zunzweiler said that the new charges are a better fit for this case. Anytime you are prosecuting a case, you have to be able to separate out the emotional impact from what the evidence really is and what the facts really are. Willis has now been sentenced to 10 years in prison. That's why I say this is bittersweet. We got her charged. She's in jail. She got years in jail. But all she got was 10 years. Yes, y'all heard that right. 10 years for 2 dead children. And there's another part to it. Are y'all ready for this? That's why I took the big pause. Are y'all ready for this? Matter of fact, if y'all can hear me, do me a favor and click the thumbs up. What that'll do is help share the stream and let more people know that we're live. If you guys continue to support us that way, more people will be able to see these stories from the beginning. Here, let me tell y'all the worst part. She got multiple charges, but they ran them concurrently instead of consecutively. Consecutive is one after another. Concurrent is at the same time. Everybody understand that? Her charges ran concurrently, so that means not only is she only going to have to do no more than 10 years, all the time that she's been in jail since last year, she's going to get credit for that time that she was in jail awaiting this trial, and she's only going to have to do 85% of her sentence. I say that's a little bit of an injustice. So you guys can do the math. What's 85% of 10 years? And then if you think about the time that she's already been in jail, then you have to minus that time off of there as well. So you're talking about this woman could potentially be out of jail scot-free in 7 years. And let me see how old she is. She's 24 years old. She's 24. That means she could potentially be out of jail by the time she's 31. And if y'all have watched my channel long enough, what exactly does that mean? That means that she could turn around, for the potentially the next 10 years and have more kids. Does that not turn your stomach? Does that not make you mad? Does that not piss you off? She lost custody. She went and illegally regained custody of the kids, caused the kids death, not going to get nothing but a slap on the wrist, 7 to 8 years in prison maximum, and she could get out by the time she's 31 years old, get pregnant again, and do it again. She could do this all over again. Now tell me that is not insane. I'm sorry for yelling. Let me bring my voice down from a 13 to about a 9. That's insane. She could have 2 more kids and turn around and lose 2 more kids, take them from the aunt and murder those kids, and then turn around and do it all over again. All before the time she's 40 years old. That's why I have a hashtag called TTO. What that means is that this woman, for doing this, should not have any more reproductive rights. She should not be able to procreate ever again. There should be some type of provision that prevents this woman from being able to have any more kids. I don't know how you would legally pull that off, but some type of way this woman needs to be sterilized. Sterilized, snipped, or something. I don't know what you would do. But that's insane that she could just get out of jail in 7 to 8 years and turn around and have 2 more kids and murder them and neglect them all over again. That's insane. But I'm not going to even tell you guys the rest of the details of the story. You can go and look at the videos that I've already done. Let me give y'all the fair usage and let me let you guys listen to the news videos, okay? Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. This woman does not deserve to have ovaries. Here we go. Let's get it.
The mother of 2 Tulsa toddlers who went missing and later drowned pleads guilty. Denisha Willis was charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder last summer. Police say surveillance video shows the toddlers walking through a gap in the fence near their apartment complex that led to Mingo Creek. Officers say Willis was found sleeping after her kids disappeared and that she refused to help them.
As we were trying to determine what happened to little TJ and to Miracle, and when you guys came out to cover that and we did not get any additional good leads from our Crime Stoppers, from our non-emergency, from our dispatch, we as collectively as a police department gathered and started talking about the other possibilities that these children had gone into the water. So it wasn't until later in the week that we found video of them going into the water, going down the embankment towards the water. And when they didn't come back up from that embankment, we knew what we were dealing with. Now came the focus of trying to recover those 2 children, and I knew it was going to be a monumental task because of the time lapse, the time that had passed, and just how the river works. So we called on a number of different resources to help us, and without question, each and every law enforcement agency, each and every rescue service that we called immediately deployed boats, deployed personnel in an attempt to find these children. I want to read you from the city of Tulsa, our agencies that responded and were a part of this. It was the Tulsa Fire Department, Urban Search and Rescue, our stormwater department for the city, our child crisis, our child exploitation, our fugitive warrants unit, our special response team, our special victims unit, our family violence unit, our Tulsa Police Dive Team, our K-9 units, our cyber crimes unit, and our crime scene unit.
All of those departments looking for this kid. But yet we continue to talk about defunding the police. Isn't that something? The hypocrisy is real, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the news videos. Here we go.
It means a lot to show that they care. The community really cares about them. And the support is really important right now. It's been really hard. Not a lot of sleep, not a lot of eating. Just been out here looking for the babies.
I mean, it just really touched my heart, and I felt emotionally involved. And we were actually planning to look today before we saw the news this morning and stuff. So we just wanted to come out and show our support.
I feel sad. I just want somebody to do the same for me if I missed, if my kids was missing.
A heartbreaking turn of events in the search for two missing Tulsa children. Tulsa police saying that they're now working to recover the bodies of Miracle and Tony Crook. The siblings have been missing since Friday. They were last seen walking toward the Mingo Creek behind their apartment complex. Tonight, we are hearing from their father. 2 Works for You's Katie Kelleher tells us what he had to say to her. Katie.
Karen, Miracle, and Tony's father, Tony Crook Sr., has not been able to be out here searching for his children. He's currently in the Rogers County Jail, but he says he's still holding out hope his kids will be found alive.
The dad was in jail. Boy. Good job, Mom. Good pick for a man, huh? A jailbird.
I don't believe that my babies are dead. I'm not believing that.
Tony Crook Sr. waiting behind bars for news of his missing children. Their mother, Donisha Willis, the last to be seen with Miracle and Tony Jr., charged with child neglect and assault and battery of a police officer. The children were last seen on surveillance going down these steps toward Mingo Creek behind their apartment complex. Their father, devastated he can't look for his children.
I love my babies. My babies love me. They know they daddy. I took care of my babies when I was free. Even though I'm in jail, I took care of my kids. I love.
He said, I took care of my kids when I was out of jail, when I was free. When I was free. Yes, massa. Yes, massa. When I was free. When I get free, I was going to take care of my kids.
Sir, the children were last seen.
But I bet he won't be called a coon, no.
On surveillance going down these steps toward Mingo Creek behind their apartment complex. Their father, devastated he can't look for his children.
I love my babies. My babies love me. They know they daddy. I took care of my babies when I was free. Even though I'm in jail, I took care of my kids. I love my babies.
Meanwhile, other family members were following search teams along Mingo Creek Tuesday afternoon. Boats and dive teams scanning the water for any sign of Miracle and Tony Jr. The family unable to do anything but wait.
It's unbelievable. You always hear about other families, other people, and you never think and pray that it happened to your family. But here it is, we're facing this, and we're just trying to hold it together.
Following the news, volunteers who were searching for the children gathered together to say a prayer.
They really didn't deserve what happened to them, but unfortunately it's not in our power, it's not in our hands. What happened, it's sad, and it's painful, it hurts.
As the search for the children continues, their father says he's thankful for everyone's time and effort to find them, and he's not giving up yet.
Bring them babies back. Bring them babies back.
We asked police about their search plans for tomorrow. They told us they're not sure where they're going to start yet, but they're not giving up until Miracle and Tony Jr. are found. Live in Tulsa, Katie Kelleher, 2 Works for You.
Tonight, a community in mourning after Tulsa police confirmed the bodies pulled from the water this week are missing toddlers Miracle and Tony Crook. Chief Wendell Franklin is also talking about the toll this case took on investigators as parents.
And what's next for the children's mother who remains in jail? Channel 8's Ethan Hutchins is live at the growing memorial for the toddlers. Ethan?
Nearly now is not the time to discuss further charges. Today, the DA's office and Tulsa police tell us that they want to wait on that, and they want to have the whole community here gather and remember these kids. In an emotional ending to a weeks-long search.
It's saddening, but it's also, from our perspective, we're elated that we were able to bring closure.
Tulsa Police Chief Wendell Franklin today confirming what many have expected, that the children's bodies recovered this week belong to the missing toddlers.
We did get DNA analysis back, and the DNA analysis does confirm that those are our two children, TJ and Miracle, that were in that water and recovered.
In a joint press conference, Chief Franklin and District Attorney Steve Kunzweiler, both emotional, provided thoughts on the tragic case.
I'm confident that they're resting in the bosom of their Creator, as innocent and as beautiful as when they lived.
If you have little ones, you go home and you hug them. You do whatever you can to be a good parent.
However, when it comes to Miracle and Tony's mother, Denisha Willis, Kunzweiler is putting a pause on the discussion of future charges.
Our community is grieving, and these two children deserve the attention that they deserve. They were innocent lives.
Which is why concerned citizen Debbie Robertson believes someone needs to be held accountable.
We definitely want justice for them, absolutely.
Robertson and other volunteers have installed a gate in the spot where the toddlers were seen entering Mingo Creek. She says the fence needs to be safer, but families also need to be responsible.
I just think right now, this is what's important. Just focusing on those babies.
I've got a job to do. We're gonna review what the Tulsa Police Department has given to us.
At the same time, Kunzweiler says the case must lean on facts, not emotion, as the decision to pursue additional charges will not be taken lightly. And right now, we know that Denisha Willis remains in jail tonight. Although her attorney, Corbin Brewster, is trying to get her bond reduced, her arraignment is set.
Let's go ahead and move to the next video.
I believe that they're now working to recover the bodies of two missing toddlers. Miracle and Tony Crook were last seen on Friday, and yesterday, investigators released a video of the two children walking toward Mingo Creek, not too far from their apartment complex where they live. And our Tatiana Taylor's live for us this morning with the very latest on those search efforts. Tatiana?
Travis, unfortunately, this is day 6 of the search for those missing toddlers, and the police chief, Wendell Franklin, tells us it's no longer a rescue, it is now a recovery mission. Investigators say Miracle and Tony Crook were caught on surveillance footage holding hands walking down Mingo Creek embankment near their apartment, going into the creek but not seen coming back up. The community is wrapping their arms around the family, still hoping to get some clarity and answers about this tragic situation. Dive teams worked most of the day Tuesday to try and recover bodies of Tony and Miracle Crook.
We do have video of the kids going down the embankment, holding hands together and never reappearing.
After police left the site late yesterday evening, volunteers went over to 11th and Mingo area to search along the creek there. And many family members and friends were out searching all day and all night. Many saying these two kids don't deserve this. Live in Tulsa, I'm Tatiana Taylor, 2 Works for You.
To give my closing thoughts about this, this is not justice at all. This really doesn't do anything more than just amount to nothing but a slap on the wrist for this mother. Like I said, 10 years is not enough at all. I want everybody to understand that she got 10 years because she pled to accept lesser charges or a lesser sentence. She pled. And the fact that they didn't, I'm not sure how much they took into account the fact that these children she shouldn't have been able to have access to these children. The fact that there were no charges presented against the aunt who gave the mother access to these kids, and then the kids end up dead. There were no charges against her. And for the life of me, if you put children in danger, I don't understand why you wouldn't be held accountable for, just like I tell you guys about my my Thug Zoo analogy. If you go to the Thug Zoo and you take your child and you put your child in the thug lion cage, and that thug lion murders your child, then I think that you should be held accountable for causing the death of your children. That includes the aunt who had custody of the kids and shouldn't have given the mom access to those kids, who caused the neglect and death of those kids. 10 years is not enough. And like I said, a family member that did that should be held accountable as well. But you know what? Are they going to push for more justice? I'm not so sure that they are. So all we're going to have to do at this point is just accept what we got and just really hope that we can do better in the future. Continue to keep strengthening our laws because the laws that matter the most are your local laws, your local elections, your local leaders are the ones that matter. While everybody who's worried about who the next president is worried about the wrong thing. Worry about your cities, worry about your counties, worry about your local and state elections. That's where it's going to affect you first. Who are your judges? Who are your aldermen? Who are your councilmen? Who are your city leaders and representatives? That's where it's going to count. That's where you can make the biggest difference, and you can be like Texas and have this thing called super aggravated child abuse laws for children under the age of 10. There's no reason why that woman shouldn't have got life in prison, regardless of what she pled to. This is a really crappy end to this unbelievably sad saga for these kids. So I feel bad for the good people out there in Tulsa, because I know it's some good people out there, some people that cared, some people that searched, and some people that really just wanted to see these kids be found and just, you know, just have an opportunity to grow up and live and become something great. And because of their mom, they would never get that opportunity. And their crappy dad, for him being a jailbird, I think he's a piece of crap dad. I know not everybody agrees with that, but it's my personal opinion, okay? But you guys make your own judgment. Continue in your neighborhoods, in your families, in your household. Put your children first. Do what's best by these children first, please. So let me say this. Find that picture. To those babies, and that just breaks my heart, man. To those young souls, to those babies, R.I.P. I'm DJ Just J. We're the AFC. That means we're the advocates for children, and we're going to advocate for children first, and we're going to give babies like this and so many of them voices. And hopefully we can curb this thing to a point and help more families and more people in our society that this type of thing will cease. We're going to work until every breath is out of our bodies, okay? From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming through and listening. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Join the channel, become a part of the movement, make us a platform that is really making an impact. We want to continue to grow, and we want to be your platform for the babies, okay? You guys have a great day. You guys have a great night. All right, we'll talk to you guys later, okay? Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap us up. So if you haven't subscribed, if that subscribe button is red, I know a lot of people that watch us still haven't subscribed yet. I encourage you guys, give us a little bit of time and see how you like our channel. I hope you guys will continue to support us. All of our support links are in the description box. You can always help us by just clicking the thumbs up and subscribing, okay? Let me say thank you. I think the last donation came in from Lynn Eversley. Our patrons, if you guys want to join Patreon, is getting ready to be the first of the month. You guys can do that one time a month. Every time. It's really easy to do to become a patron. So those links are in the description box. If you guys like the Babies Lives Matter shirts, we have these in a lot of different colors, a lot of different styles, a lot of our different logos. We have hats, we have cooking aprons, we have purses, a lot of stuff. Check those links out at Spreadshirt and all of our links in the description box. Y'all have a great night. Check out our sponsors. Much love, and we will see y'all later. Peace.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us on tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com. Hey there, listeners! Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us today on tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses, like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-sized masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.